The time has come. I know you've been thinking about it and a year or so has passed and you said, it is time to actually buy a house. So in this video, I'm gonna walk you through the 9 steps, because I can't put in one more step to make it 10. Just 9 simple steps on how to purchase a home. All right, so step number 1. Honestly, it is finding the right realtor. Before you even start looking at homes, finding the right realtor is going to be extremely helpful. You want to find someone who is very knowledgeable. You want to find someone who's very well connected as far as being able to connect you with a lender, connect you with different builders for new home communities. Finding a realtor is going to be extremely helpful. Number 2, that realtor is probably going to connect you with 1 or 2 mortgage lenders. So this is really important. I recommend that you get 2, at minimum, 2 quotes from different lenders, because each lender has very specific loans that they're able to provide, and sometimes the difference in the interest rate and fees that you're going to pay is going to be significant. For example, whenever I purchased my first home, I partnered with a lender and they had shared my interest rate was, I think it was 6.4%. And to me, that felt extremely high. I got another quote from a different lender and my interest rate was 5.5%, which interest rates can really dictate what your monthly payment is going to be. And I was so grateful that I got a second quote to get a better interest rate. So make sure you get at least 2 quotes so you can really make an educated decision as far as what is going to be the best for your monthly payment. Step number 3, this is the fun part. Well, maybe for some. But it's begin house hunting, okay? So now the realtor's probably gonna set up a search for you, and then I'm sure you're gonna be on Zillow, you're gonna set up a search. It's time to actually pick out the house that you want to buy. So a couple of really cool things about our market right now is there are so many new build communities. But the thing about new build communities, you can't find them on the MLS. It's almost like a hidden society. So that's why picking a good realtor who knows about all of these different developments that are taking place within the city that you want to live in is extremely important. And something that I was extremely blown away by is, say you have the time to purchase a new build home. The cool thing about new builds is the builders for these larger communities, they are giving the buyer a credit to help with closing costs or buying down the interest rates. In addition, if you use the builder's lender, oftentimes the interest rate is going to be a lot lower compared to if you just went to a regular lender for a house that someone has already lived in. So if you want to talk new builds, I think I'm going to do a separate video on new builds because they are really, really good if you can find it in the right price point in the area that you're looking for. Step number 4. All right, so we looked at houses, and I know the first house you love, you want to find it out. Most of the time it doesn't work like this. But let's just use a little fairy tale example. We went to the first house and you fell deeply and madly in love. It's the right square footage, it's in the right location, the price is okay. And so you said, Dea, this is the one. This is the one I know. And I said, okay, Tom, or Bob, or Sally Sue. Let's put in an offer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through the purchase contract so you really understand what it is that you're signing. In that purchase contract, we're going to put the purchase price that we want to offer, if we want to ask for any type of concessions, if there's any other details that we want to add in the contract. You and I are going to have a conversation just to make sure that you feel extremely comfortable about the offer that I am writing to the sellers. Then I'm going to submit that offer and we are going to give them a certain period of time to get back to us. So for this situation, they accept our offer, and now for step number 5, it's time to get a home inspection. There's a handful of inspectors, so your realtor should be able to provide a few inspectors for you to go with. And this is something that the buyer pays for out of pocket, and then they schedule the inspection. And you can be there, or one of the realtors can be present. And so the inspector, they're probably gonna take, depending on the size of the house, anywhere between like 3 to 4 or 5 hours if the house is a little bit bigger. And they're going to look at everything from top to bottom. At the end of the inspection, they're going to probably give you a phone call and provide a recap. And they're also going to provide a report stating all of the things that they found in the home that they want to communicate to you as the buyer. So now you're going to partner with your realtor, and you get to go line by every single item that the inspector communicated to us that there could be an issue or something needs to be fixed. So we're going to either ask for it to be fixed, or we're going to ask for it to be repaired. So there's going to be two situations that can take place. They can say, yes, I'm going to fix all these things, I'm going to repair all these things. Or they may say, no, I'm not going to repair any of this, but here's the credit. Or actually there's a third one, they can say, no, I'm not going to fix anything. And so at that point, that's where picking a realtor who's really good at negotiating comes into play here, because you really want to make sure that you all are selecting things that you want them to fix, that makes sense. The thing with a home that someone has already lived in, there's going to be things. There's always things. So don't get scared over the report unless there's something major or foundational that is taking place, because those can be really big ticket items. But just go through there, then you're going to have a few different responses from the seller. So then you're going to have the opportunity to receive the feedback from the seller and then decide how you want to proceed. So then once you're finished with that, then, and the seller and the buyer, they agree to the inspection report. Now the lender is going to request an appraisal, and the buyer is responsible for paying, depending on the contract. So depending on the contract, the buyer may be responsible for paying for the appraisal. So the buyer is going to call, so the lender is going to identify the appraiser. The buyer is going to pay for the appraiser if that's what was agreed upon. The appraiser is going to go to the home, take their assessment, and then tell you what they think the value of the home is. Oftentimes, they're going to say the price that you all agreed upon to the contract. However, there could be a scenario where the price, the appraised value of the home is maybe lower than what you're offering. So if that takes place, that means the lender is not going to loan you the amount that you guys agreed on. That means you're going to have to come out of pocket for the difference. This is very seldom, but it can happen. And so if something like that were to happen, then you go back to negotiating. And if the sellers aren't willing to negotiate, then the buyer will be responsible for paying the difference. After the appraisal, we'll go into step number 8, which is the final walkthrough. So we'll go through the home, we'll document anything that we see, anything that needs to be fixed or repaired, or if there's like any changes from whenever you first saw the home, this is going to be the prime time to do that. And step number 9. Are you ready for this one? This is like where you're popping the champagne and the party streamers and going, woo! So it's time to close. It's closing day. So this is a really special day. You are going to be signing a stack of papers, because now this is going to be your new home. This is going to be your baby. You're going to sign all those papers. The realtors are going to get the keys for you, and they're going to hand you the keys, and voila. You just bought a house by following these 9 simple and easy steps, and you partner with the right group. If you live in Arizona, Phoenix, Scottsdale area, please send me a DM or send me a message. Book a call with me, because I would love to walk you through this process and help you reach your real estate goals. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye for now.